Hello class, this is Scott Caruso from AVF 1210 here with my week 4 final discussion video, or reflection video rather. I'll get right down to it. This was a great week for me, I thought. And a lot of it stems from those of you who were in the class on Monday night. I finally came up with an application idea that I really could sink my teeth into and really felt passionate about. Even going back to working on the CRUD app back in the other classes. Though I liked my idea for the Magic the Gathering trading card binder, I never fell in love with it. Over the course of the past week or so, as I started to formulate this idea for an application that geolocates to where you're at and tells you who what political district, national congressional district you're currently in, and who the representative and senators for that spot are. I've really just had so many different ideas swirling around in my head about what I could do with this, from the simple to the more complex. And as you'll see in a second, I kept it simple for this week just to make sure I got the fundamentals of the application down, and I did. I think there's just one bug left in the code that I simply have not had time to fix, where it's when it's error checking the zip code that you've entered if you don't have a geo to access. It error checks each digit of the value that you've entered, rather than stopping after erroring out after one digit. But that's just it's a minor bug. The code that I've got, I think, is rock solid right now in terms of what it does. Actually, let me show it to you right now while I got you here. So here's the basic demo app. Again, you'll see that I've added a little option up there that says My Congress. That is the application that I've designed. And, whoa, excuse me for that. Let me go back here. Sorry about that. So if we tap on My Congress, it takes you to a very, very simple landing launch page that I really think could be the landing or launch page for, sorry, I don't know why it didn't, for the landing or launch page for an application. It's so simple. Obviously this isn't Google, but it's Google-like in its simplicity, and you do exactly what it looks. It says View My Congress Now. You tap the button. Please wait while your data loads. We are in District 9 in Massachusetts. I'm in Roslindale, Massachusetts. And there you go. Current U.S. Congress people representing District 9 of Massachusetts: Scott Brown, John Kerry, Stephen Lynch. I am not thrilled with the layout yet. There's more data I want to show here. I want to pretty it up a little bit more. But it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It tells you who the current Congress people are representing that district. If you return to the launch page, you'll also see there's an option to enter a zip code in that box. So you can't read it on the screen right now, but it says to please enter a zip code. I'm going to enter 32708. That's my old zip code in Florida in Winter Springs, and hit OK. The message there warns you that if you're searching by zip code, you may return multiple representatives, because there are a number of districts that have, or a number of zip codes that have more than one political district that covers them. That's the case with my old district, both District 24 and District 7 in Florida. So you'll actually get 2 representatives and 2 senators that show up in that list. But long story short, the application is doing exactly what it sets out to do, and it makes me exceptionally happy that it's working as intended. Clearly, there are some areas that I can improve in the aesthetic and in the functionality once you actually pull down the list of senators and representatives. But again, those are things that I'm going to tackle as I start to refine this out more. The key point that I want to get across here is I absolutely love this idea for an application, and I want to see how far I can take this and what I can do with it. But for purposes of this week, it does what it's supposed to do. It's using media queries to tell you when you're actually on a tablet versus on a browser. I absolutely love what it's doing. Real quick, I'll just take you to show you that the other stuff is still working. Twitter API still functions as intended, bringing up recent election tweets. Camera still works. Let's take a picture real quick. Hi! Use that picture. There's the picture you just took. There's the picture appearing in the display div. Notification. So all the functions on here still work exactly as intended. So that's the iOS version of the application. Let's go take a look at Android real quick and then tie a little bow on this 4-week course. Okay, so let's take a look at the Android version of the app right now. All the other core functionality is as you would expect it. As an example, the Twitter API. But really, My Congress is what we're most interested in. So let's hop on over to the My Congress launching page or landing page, whatever you'd like to call it. Launch.html is what I called it. Let's take a look at some of the error handling that we've got here in the application. As an example, let's say we enter something that's too long to be a zip code. It tells you enter a valid zip code in 5-digit format. Now let's say I enter a zip code that has a $sign in it. It tells you that you need to enter a valid zip code using only numeric digits. So it gives you some kind of error processing there. Let's go back to My Congress real quick. Now let's search for a legit area code. I'm going to go with where I grew up when I was a young child. 06484. That's Shelton, Connecticut. So we'll pull up your data. Give it a second to locate that for you. And it gives you the information for Districts 3 and 4 of Connecticut. So that's the Android version of the application as well. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really excited to see what I'm able to turn this into. I like where I'm headed. I like the way it functions now. It's just going to be a matter of me figuring out how to really make this pop aesthetically and then add some more features in once you've actually done the geolocation for where you're at that moment. So thank you, and I hope to have you checking out my app for real sometime in the future.